Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor. And today we are going after another Kameo Kung Lao Brutality for Fatal Friday. Fatal Friday is the series I do where I take the main roster and cameo fighters from Mortal Kombat 1 into the Kombat League in order to try and get their unique finishers like the Brutalities and Fatalities. Alongside the Kameo Kung Lao, I am using Omni-Man again. And the Brutality for Kameo Kung Lao that I am going for is the Razor Burn Brutality. That is the Brutality version of his low hat attack that you have seen probably spammed a million times in the Kombat League or just really any online version of Mortal Kombat 1. It is incredibly handy, but it's not the strongest attack in the world, so getting the right distance to get this Brutality and doing just enough damage to deplete the last of the opponent's health is a little bit tricky. This one definitely took me a few attempts, and whenever I got the opponent I did not think I was going to get it in this fight, but I went for it anyway, and it kind of worked out for me. Speaking of my opponent for this match, they are using the main roster character Smoke against me, and paired up with Smoke they are also using the Kameo Kung Lao. So the reason I thought that Smoke might not be the best person to try and get this Brutality against is because a lot of Smoke users tend to use the teleport with Smoke, and I wasn't 100% sure if the low hat would hit Smoke if they were phasing in and out of Smoke form, because he can kind of do some dashes in that smoke form that projectiles just go through. So that had me a little bit nervous, but hey, you never know until you try, and try we did. One other thing you might notice about this fight is that the audio is just basically going to be me talking for most of the recording. My opponent had their microphone on, and while they didn't say anything interesting, they were making a lot of noise in the background at various points, and it was just kind of, well, not fun to listen to. And if it was not fun for me to listen to, I'm sure it would not be fun for anyone else to listen to either, so I went ahead and removed it. That way, you don't have to listen to me talk, then random noise in the background, and then the game audio. Altogether, it probably would just sound like one big jumbled mess. Not to worry though, I do have the audio for the Brutality itself, so we still get to show that off in all of its glory. And so there is a little bit of background noise while I talk throughout this video. I will go ahead and go to the stage for Shang Tsung's laboratory. And I'll go ahead and record that and then put that in the background of this video. It is going to lack some of the impact audio from people getting punched, kicked, and, all that good stuff, but at least it'll be there and it won't just be me talking the whole time. And for the fight itself, we are in the third and final round of the first match. The first round went to Smoke and he won kind of decisively against me. The second round, I end up pulling that one off after he got punished on a teleport, and now the fight is almost over in this third round. Let's go ahead and go for the Brutality.
Your parents must be disappointed.
Brutality. Omni-Man wins.
And there it was, that was the Razor Burn Brutality for the Kameo Kung Lao, and yeah, I was very happy to see that I got that one in the very first match of this set. Whenever you get the Brutality that you're hunting for really early on, it just kind of takes the pressure off the rest of the matches you have to do for the set. Because then you don't really have to worry about having to finish them in any one specific way. You can just focus on winning. Now in other videos, I do try to get the Brutality twice most of the time, that way we can highlight it as much as possible within the video. But trying to get the Kameo Kung Lao Brutality was kind of a pain in the ass, and I just really didn't want to do it again after I got it the first time. Plus, like I mentioned earlier, Smoke is kind of a hard person to get that Brutality against in the first place. I'm really surprised I managed to get it against him. Had I not caught him in the middle of trying to do his little smoke bomb overhead teleport attack, I don't think I would have gotten it, because I was at full screen and that smoke bomb that he throws up in the air kind of takes a while to get to its destination. If it wasn't for that, I don't know if I would have got Smoke standing in one place long enough to actually get the Brutality. And with that in mind, I wasn't certain I was going to get that lucky again. Not to worry though, I don't want to disappoint. I will try to go for another Brutality in the matches that go on next. And speaking of the next matches, we are currently in the second match of the set, and the very first round went incredibly well for me. I took very little damage and ended up defeating Smoke. The second round, however, was a lot closer. Both of us ended up below 30% health in the end, but unfortunately I do not pull it off. Instead, Smoke ends up taking the round. So yet again, for the second consecutive match in a row, we were going into a third and final round. Now, early on in the third and final round, we were both respecting each other's attacks pretty well and mostly just blocking and not really getting anything going. So unlike in other rounds where it seemed like everything was going really quickly, this one kind of started off kind of slow. But after those first 20 seconds or so, that's when everything escalated very quickly and in my favor. I end up landing a bunch of decent combos, one doing over 300 damage and one getting pretty close. And before I knew it, Smoke's health was so low that basically one combo would have killed him, or even just a few different heavy attacks like maybe an uppercut. So at that point I knew it was time to go for a Brutality. Which one did I go for? Well, let's find out.
What a disgrace to your species.
Brutality. Omni-Man wins.
And with that, I won the entire set. I ended up closing it all out with the behind you exclamation point Brutality for Omni-Man. Emphasis on the exclamation point because without it, well, that's the name of another Brutality. The behind you Brutality for Reptile does not have an exclamation point, so let's try to avoid any confusion. But yeah, no, that's going to be it for the set. I ended up getting the Brutality I wanted very early on. Again, that Brutality was Razor Burn for the Kameo Kung Lao. And since I only got to do it once in this match, I will show it one more time at the very end of the outro, that way we can all enjoy it one final time before we part ways. But yeah, like I said, getting the Razor Burn Brutality took a few attempts, so I was pretty happy to finally get it and then win the match on top of that so I could really get that shown off in a decent setting. And then I even got an additional Brutality just to add a little bit of flavor to the video. All in all, pretty good stuff. Now, if you enjoyed getting to see these Brutalities, be sure to check out some of the other stuff I have on the Thor's Entertainment channel. I do have other videos that highlight other finishers for Mortal Kombat 1. Those can be found under the Mortal Kombat 1 online playlist. I also have playthroughs of the story modes for various Mortal Kombat games. That is going to be it for me today, though. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Your parents must be disappointed.
Brutality. Omni-Man wins.